Nah, I let them say what they gotta say. You know what I mean? A dick is a dick, whether you block it or not. You know what I mean? So.
Robin.
All right, let's get the Ice Cube in here. From the new movie Ride Along in theaters this Friday. For the first time on our show, Ice Cube.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, man?
Ice Cube, what's up?
Take a seat.
How are you, sir?
What's happening? All good.
It's all good. You got this new movie, Ride Along.
Ride Along. Very funny movie.
With our pal Kevin Hart. We know Kevin very well.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
How was he difficult on the set? Because he tends to be difficult in real life. So was he like, you got quite an ego on him?
No doubt. You know what I mean? It was like, after he get to the set, you know what I mean? He want to be up at the damn strip club all night. And then come to the set with glitter in his face. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but once we got him there and he had his double latte shot or whatever he wants, you know what I mean? He good to go.
Was anybody you've ever worked with or just consistently late? I was talking to Colin Quinn last night, and he said that the first thing he ever did, I think, was a Woody Allen movie as an extra, and he was 4 hours late every day to the set. And the guy
was, or Woody?
Colin was. Nobody would question Woody. Colin was 4 hours late.
Was he an idiot?
As a nobody.
Yeah. Damn, you're fired.
Yeah,
exactly.
So nobody.
No, nobody's that late. Not on my movies. Mm-hmm. They better bring their ass in, or I'll go get them.
Do you executive produce them?
I produce them.
Oh, you do?
Wow. Yeah.
Produce them. Yeah. Me and Will Packer and Matt Alvarez, did the heavy lifting on this.
What's the gist of this one now? What's the gist? We got. I know you're a cop.
Yeah. Well, Kevin is a wannabe cop. He's a security
guard, right?
School security who wants to be a cop, and but he has to impress me, who he wants to be. Also, he wants to be my brother-in-law because he wants to marry my sister.
Oh, it's your sister. Okay.
So I hate him, and I want to just scare the shit out of him. You know what I mean? And just take him on a ride along.
It looked funny. The trailer looked really funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a funny movie. We knew we had to try to get in that Bad Boys, Rush Hour,
right.
Lethal Weapon, 48 Hours. We was trying to get in that stratosphere, and we did a hell of a job. I think we close. Hopefully, they're making a spot on that Mount Rushmore for us.
Have you ever gone on a ride along with cops? I mean,
in my professional life, personally, yeah.
I'm sure personally, there's probably a couple of times.
A voluntary one.
My question is, why does the back seat have to be so damn uncomfortable? I mean, damn, your knees are up against the board. Seat hard as a rock.
We got a nice courtesy ride in Philly with the Philly cops to a venue that we had to be at. And they shoved us in the back seat, and man, that was bad. It was like a bench seat, like from McDonald's, like hard
as a rock.
And they're making these turns, and you just sliding into the doors back and forth.
It was pretty cool, though.
Yeah,
you like that? Huh?
Well,
again,
as
long as you don't have the handcuffs on.
Exactly.
Cool. When you know you're getting out,
exactly.
You're not going to be fucked with.
with the handcuffs,
Now you're sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
The back.
Cool.
Do you get a response from the cops playing a cop based on, earlier in your career, obviously there was a little more of a controversy?
It's like, cops have always been cool with me, especially after I got famous. Before I was famous, it was a different story, but after that, they've always, been cool. And I like cool cops, you know what I mean? It's just the dickheads I don't like, you know what I mean? And the ones that abuse their power and the ones who cover up for each other. And you know what I mean? That ain't really what it's all about. So
you're describing every profession, though. There's dickheads in every profession.
Pretty much, it's dickheads everywhere.
But the guy at the deli counter can't fucking beat you down.
Yeah, you can beat his ass down if you get out of line.
I just want to talk a little bit about earlier in your career, when you were singing and shit and rapping. The storylines of a lot of the songs, especially looking back now, are so outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way someone could just be walking down the street, fucking AK in hand, shooting up shit. How much of that was true and how much of it was kind of elaborated about?
Oh, I mean, you've never been to Compton, especially in the 80s and the 90s. AKs walking down the street. It's not unusual. You know what I'm saying? It's the unpredictableness of the neighborhood. it'd be a week when nothing happened, everything is cool, you know, you southern sunny California, and
right.
Next evening, you know, you hear about your man that got shot at the store up the street and got killed, and you know, it's just that kind of deal. You know, it's like living in a war zone, and you got snipers. You know what I'm saying? It's
so you're not going to write shit about the week where it was all nice and sunny. So sounded like 24 hours a day. It was just like you were on
mayhem.
No, it wasn't 24 hours a day. You know, I got songs like "It Was a Good Day" that kind of break it down. And you know, the movie Friday is how we saw the neighborhood. You know, it was a lot of crazy shit going on, but it was fun. You know what I mean? It was
what a crossover movie that is. I mean, fucking white people and black people thought that was one of the funniest fucking movies, man.
Yeah, man. It's one of those movies, dude, that everybody's had those, you know. Yeah. How many, you know, you've kicked it on the porch with your buddies coming through, tripping off the neighborhood. Everybody can have a Friday. And it's millions of Friday movies going on all through the world. You know what I mean? People hanging out, tripping off their neighborhood, the crazy people they know in their neyborhood. And I think that's the connection with the movie.
Yeah. What an iconic line, too, knock the fuck out became.
Wow, right?
Yeah.
That became such a such a bigger than that movie.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those lines that you'd be like, damn, you know, that's the perfect thing to say to somebody who just got knocked out. You know, if you want to just let them know what happened, you know what I'm saying? Because when you get knocked out, you might not know what happened.
Right.
So it's cool to have somebody there to give you a tagline from a movie.
It was a perfectly honest assessment of what had just happened. It was just really unpleasant.
Do you go back to Compton still?
Every now and then, you know, we do our thing. But, you know, I'm actually from South Central Los Angeles. Okay. You know, everybody else was from Compton. And if you put a distance on it, it's about 10 miles away.
Right.
You know, but, you know, I was the only one that was actually from South Central Los Angeles.
Mike, I'm reading Mike Tyson's book, which is amazing. I'm just about done.
Yeah.
What's amazing to me, he always went back to Brownsville.
Yeah.
Always, on a regular basis. Not just a little, let me go back and see the boys. You know, he was going
But it
there.
was to get in trouble and So
it was unbelievable that he didn't separate himself from all that trouble, even when he was so famous.
And you know, my father still lived in the same house I grew up in. And so I go back all the time. And, you know, I got guys with me from my neighborhood. So, you know, I have a close connection because, you know, it's where I come from. It's really who I am.
Right.
You know, ultimately.
And your dad never wanted to leave?
No, he said, I tried to buy my house.
I would assume, sure.
I buy my own goddamn house. I bought this with my own damn money.
Good for him.
Bought this with my own damn money. Okay, no problem. You want a car? Yeah, you can give me that. You know,
I bet you
give me a nice car.
I was going to say, I bet you at least pimped out his house for him a little bit. A little bit. Okay.
It's one of the sweetest houses on the block, if not the sweetest.
Did you see yourself, like, did you have a game plan when you first started getting popular? And was this anywhere on your radar where you are now, making movies, actually making, you know, family-friendly comedies and stuff?
Well, you know, it's a trip because if somebody gave me a pen and a pad when I was 14, 15, and say, hey, you want to be famous? Write out what you want to be, what you want to do. I think I ought to shortchange myself, you know, compared to what's really happened.
Right,
you know, It's just been being in the right place at the right time, mixed with recognizing opportunities, mixed with proper planning. You know, I went a year to architectural drafting school, and I didn't learn shit from the certificate, but to plan out. You can't build nothing without the plan. You know what I mean? Right. So you got to have a plan before you can build anything. So I just took that and kind of applied it to my career.
Do you look back at the controversies in your career now in hindsight and think how kind of silly they and almost innocent they were for what we're looking at now? I mean, it was almost kind of funny back then.
It's not funny living it.
I don't doubt it, but in hindsight, it's like, oh, God, they were pissed at that. Like, look at what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, our world was gangbanging, drugs in the neighborhood, police abuse, LAPD, and that kind of engulfed us, so the music was our only weapon, it was our only means to defend ourselves from what was happening and to shout it out to the world, which we didn't think cared, you know what I'm saying? And with records and movies like Boys in the Hood and things like that, we realized that the world did care, and it was going through similar things in pockets of communities all through the country, all through the world. So, we had a narrow view of the world back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was an isolated view of what the world was about.
Were you surprised at how many young white guys got so into that? Into your music?
At first I was, I didn't think it was I didn't think it was going to catch on, you know what I'm saying, with that crowd. But in thinking about it, this is who we wanted to listen to the music. This is who we wanted to hear our story and our plight, because
you're not just preaching to the converted. Yeah, right.
Black people already knew what was going on. This was like, we shouting this out to the world, and thank God the world was listening.
How hard is it when if you write something now, like lyrically, to reach back and kind of capture the way you felt then to keep the music consistent, or do you just have to change everything you write about?
No, I still got feelings about what's going on in South Central and in a lot of communities across the nation and the country. I still have feelings about what's going on. Me as an individual, my particular situation has been a very blessed one. But, I still think I'm in a position to speak for people who can't speak for themselves, still going through it. So, those lyrics come just as easy to write as they did back then.
And who were you kind of looking up to back then? Growing up, were there any like archaic rappers at this point that you're like?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I wouldn't call them archaic, I just call them old school, Melly Mel, Rakim, Chuck D, these are some of the flies. KRS-One, some of the influential MCs from back in the day, but also people like Muhammad Ali, Richard Pryor, George Clinton. It was a few influences.
Any white guys?
Huh?
Any white people?
Oh yeah. I was into
Ethel Merman.
A lot of sports figures. You know what I'm saying? But these are the people that was very influential on me, and they helped kind of shape what the music I would do and how I felt about things, and it was pretty good.
Does it put you in an awkward position thinking now you are kind of an icon and someone to look up to and somebody to, kind of be inspired by? Did you ever see that coming?
You would hope that, you know what I'm saying? Because when I first started, I just wanted to be the best rapper in the world. I had a narrow view of what I wanted to do, and you want to get respect in this game, or whatever game you're in. I think you want to be respected by your peers and fans for what you do, and to get that respect and gain that respect, it's humbling. It's not strange, because this is where I wanted to be. So it's just a thing where I just accept what I am and who I am, and just be true to myself, and in turn, fans feel like I'm being true to them.
Are the audiences any different? Because I think Who Kid said that the rap audiences were different now than they were maybe 10 or 15 years ago, where they kind of, years ago, cared about a guy being exactly who he said he was and coming from a certain area, and now that they're not as concerned with that.
It fluctuates. I remember you couldn't bite back then, back in the day.
Right.
If I use a scratch on my record, chip, 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 you could not do the same damn scratch on your record, or people would just kill you. You know what I mean? You just the wackest. But then it come to a point where biting is cool. You can steal a line from Jay-Z, steal one from Biggie, take one from Tupac, make a song together. You know what I mean? So it's just these things fluctuate. And then, it was like, if you say you murdered somebody on a record, we want murderers to rap. You know what I mean? It got to the point where we don't want artists to rap. We need, convicted murderers to tell, because nobody can can express themselves unless you actually did that. You know what I'm saying? Which is silly. You know what I mean? It's so, rap always kind of morphs, but what it really boils down to is the skills. Do you got the skills? Can you present, deliver? Can you rhyme? Can you keep me interested? Do you got the flavor? You know, that's really what it boils down to, after you wipe out all this other stuff.
What started it's fun, 'cause I remember when I was in high school and rap was, like, the idea of a rap battle was, like, DJ Red Alert and Marley Marl would have these, like, back and forth things. And then something happened with the East Coast and the West Coast, and I don't know what it was that started the whole thing down that weird path it went down for a while.
Well, I think it was a combination of things, New York being superior in rap for so long. Here come a new style, gangster rap, that was kind of, took a lot of attention away, and it was cool at first, but, it was like year after year, it started to be like, okay, enough of this in a way. And, a saying started coming out of New York, keep it real. This is real rap. That's, bullshit. And then, Tim Dog did a song called Fuck Compton. And it just was like, whoa. Wow. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it festered in the industry. Not with the people, not with the fans, but in the industry, it just festered. And then things like the Source Awards, I think it was 95, where, Suge got up there and said shit about how Puffy was doing it, and those things just started to snowball. Biggie and Pac being the biggest rappers at the time, it just snowballed into a whole issue. But when you really think back, there is no issue. It ain't where you from, it's where you at. Rakim said that in 86. So it ain't where you from, it's where you at when it comes to music. And that's where we are right now.
Yeah, I don't seem to hear about it anymore. It just seemed like at one point, I was always wondering what
kind of
actually set that off.
It's calmed down.
I guess it started, because it seemed like New York rap was good, but it didn't seem like it was as... It didn't talk about the same stuff, or it didn't seem to talk about it with the same intensity as guys from the West Coast did.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about New York rap, it had all different flavors of it. It wasn't just one style. It was many styles, and the predominant style out the West back then was gangster rap. So it was kind of, like a new phenomenon, and I think people just got mad that the West Coast was getting so much attention, and it didn't look like it was ever going to swing back. And, Wu-Tang started to bring it back, really towards the East, where people were saying, yo, it's good music coming out of everywhere.
When you started to get famous, was there any point where you went back or encountered guys that you grew up with who kind of didn't like the fact that you were changed? Because you have to change a little bit, I guess, when things start to go well.
Hell yeah, you change. You better change. Wouldn't be the same like you motherfuckers around here? Hell no. You know what I mean? You better get better. You always got them haters. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of shit to say behind your back. When they see you, it's all love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just brush them off. I don't worry about them. You know what I mean? They know what time it is. You know what I mean? They know what was up with me before I left, and it's the same thing if I come back. Same thing. You know what I mean? So they know Ice Cube used to knuckle them up back in the day, and I ain't got no problem knuckling them up again. You know what I mean? Anybody wants some?
Yeah, don't you think people almost want to be knuckled up because there's a big payday at the end of it? Like Kanye West, they said he just hit this guy. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You're gonna get. Right. It's gonna cost you $400,000 or $100,000.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got to think about that, right?
You got to think about that. I only hit people I know.
I don't ever want to be knuckled up by Ice Cube.
No, you don't need that.
That
would suck.
Being in the business part of making films, how much do you enjoy that part of it? Because you're entrenched, man.
Yeah, it's a necessary evil, especially if you want to be a producer. And
right.
Producing is where all the action is, I don't care. Actors have fun, directors have fun, but producers are like, you have, like a GM, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're in charge of the whole team, the coach, the players, director is like a coach and actors are like players. And so to be in that position, you know, it's a very creative position, but it's also sometimes can be, you know,
you're
tedious.
Spinning plates and juggling at the same time.
Yeah, but it's fun. You know, it's really about trying to create this big thing that we all envision in our head, and it's just on a whole creative, you know, juice level.
Where do you find the people that you surround yourself with, the loyalty you need and the trust?
You know, just through, you got to have kind of an apprenticeship with my team. You know what I mean? You got to kind of come around and show your work.
Kind of prove yourself, yeah.
Prove yourself, and it could last as long as I see fit. You know what I mean? It might be, 6 months. It might be 18 months. You know what I mean? But until I feel like you part of the team and that you loyal and you going in the same direction as the Ice Cube ship is going, then you become part of the team.
How do you let someone know that they're not quite cutting it and it might be time to leave? Are you a good firer, or do you?
I'm very good. No problem. Sit you down. I usually have a laundry list of the reasons why you ain't staying, and usually when they hear that, they usually say, "Yeah, man, thanks anyway.
All right, yeah.
I try to do better next time."
What's the best way to get booted from your? Is it to fuck up on the road, like with women, or? That's
cost me a whole lot of money. If it costs me a whole lot of money, like you have a major fuck up, then that could get you instantly off the team. Or you mess up something, lose my computer, lose my iPad, it's like that's
goodbye.
That's the death penalty.
Someone lost your computer?
One of my guys set it down we was in a Swedish airport. And I'm like, dude, where my bag at?
Oh, shit.
I see him turn around and start running back. And luckily, my bag was sitting right there.
Wow.
Sitting right there. Wow. It's like, dude, you almost had a boat trip. Get your ass a canoe. You're going back on the canoe.
No shit. God damn.
And you're going to be producing the NWA movie.
Yeah, NWA movie.
Did you start that up yet, or?
Well, we started the pre-production process. We cast in the movie and just trying to get the right players in place.
Wow, man.
But it's incredible. I never thought. When they did Boys in the Hood, I was like, damn, this is about how we grew up. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, who would give a shit
about this? So, when NWA, it's even more surreal. It's like, damn, this is how I grew up. You know what I'm saying? And I got a better attitude. I think people give a fuck now. But it's exciting, man. It's exciting to try to put your story up on the screen and show the world what's up with the world's most dangerous group.
What's something that we would see in there that we just wouldn't expect or wouldn't know about the band?
Oh man, it's really deep. You know what I mean? Seeing Easy go through the situation with AIDS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of stuff I learned during the movie, because when I broke up with NWA, I didn't really have a lot of contacts. So I learned shit about NWA in making the movie and getting Ren's story and getting Dre's story and getting DJ Yella's story. Just hearing all these back things that happened and nobody know about. So I feel like if it was informative to me,
right? Yeah.
It's gonna be informative and heavy shit to everybody else.
Who's gonna play you? Is that gonna be the hardest part to cast?
I want my son to play me.
Does he look just like you?
He looked just like me. He can rhyme. He can act. So, it's really all about, F. Gary Graves, the director. I don't want to push nobody on him.
How old's your son?
He's 22.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want to push nobody on him, but
he understands. He's going to have to make the right move.
The kid is in the movie.
Right. Some guys like, I think Denzel would be a good me.
Denzel.
I think Denzel would look
that's pretty cool.
Hey, did you guys go through any early in the days with producers or whatever ripping you guys off? I mean, it seems like every band goes through that early in the career.
It was a manager, Jerry Heller.
Oh man,
yeah, the evil
always
Jerry
Heller.
Heller.
Everybody gets fucked.
There's always one manager in the past.
Right.
The group out of a lot
what did he do to you?
Well, he was the manager of NWA, and he's the reason why I broke up with the group, because once I realized he was a crook, I was out of there. You know? And this dude is like, he was like a, you know, how he ended up managing NWA is funny, because we used to go get our records pressed at this pressing plant called McCullough. And he's like an ambulance chaser, you know what I mean, kind of manager. He's just sitting in McCullough waiting for somebody to show up with a hit. And was like, yo, you know,
wow.
I used to work with, he started name dropping and shit. And Easy, you know, ended up hooking up with the dude and, you know, trusting this dude. And he's
man. What is he doing now, that guy?
I don't know, you know, probably collecting souls for the devil. I don't know.
It's good you don't know.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it is good.
And it's very good you don't know.
How did you find out about Easy? Like, that he was sick? Did he tell you, or was it just came out when Easy was sick?
Oh, my friend's mother worked at the hospital.
Oh wow!
And told my friend. And he told me, and I thought he was Bush, and I was like, man, stop playing, because everybody know that me and Easy had our problems back in the day, so I thought he was just kind of trying to, throw some shit. I'm like, man, there ain't nothing to play with. Stop playing. And then 2 days later, he was doing a press conference.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How long was that before he died? It was really close.
It was quick. It was quick, man. It was like, it seemed. I found out on maybe Thursday. I think he was gone by Sunday or Monday.
Wow.
Jeez, fuck.
Yeah.
That's like what, 90?
That fast.
Long before like a lot of I think like before Magic Johnson, and right? That was like 90.
No, it's after.
Was it?
It was 95.
Yeah,
he died. Easy died in 95.
Yeah, Magic was right around 90-ish.
Yeah, you're right.
Was 90, 91.
91 maybe.
91.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was on the cover.
In hindsight, would you think about his lifestyle and be like, oh yeah, okay, I could see how that would happen? Or
yeah, I could see.
Yeah,
Easy. He was crazy. He was a thrill seeker. That's what he used to call it, thrill seeking. So I saw it, and and we put it in the movie. It's in there. It's in there. His, how nonchalant and dismissive he was of, AIDS, HIV, all that. He didn't give a shit.
Was he a thrill seeker with sex or with drugs, do you mean?
With sex.
Okay.
Sex. No. I don't even think he took drugs.
Huh?
He might have smoked a little. He didn't drink it. He might have smoked a little weed.
What a fucking distinctive voice on him, too. It's like, listening to that stuff, when he kicks in, when his voice comes on, it's like you almost want to start, like, laugh. It's so original and unique, and man, he was fucking good. Yeah,
and the trip thing about it, he never wanted to be a rapper.
Really?
He just wanted to be a manager, and he had managed a group called HBO, Homeboys Only. They was out of Queens. One of them looked like LL, you know what I mean? It was like, and Easy had me write him a song called Boys in the Hood.
Wow,
and they didn't want it. They was like, man, what the fuck? What's a 6'4"? We're getting ganked. I don't know what this is. Easy, we can't do this. But his name was Eric. Eric, we can't do this. So they left. Easy was like, man, I ordered this studio time. Y'all don't get the fuck out. It was an argument. They left. So we was sitting there, and Dre was like, Eric, won't you do the damn song? We already got the studio time. He was like, man, I ain't no damn rapper.
I don't rap.
I ain't no rapper. Man, hell no. Man, so 30, 40 minutes of that. And he's, give me the paper. Let me see. All right, y'all leave. You know what I mean? Kicked us all out.
He didn't want to fucking do it in front of anybody?
Yeah, and him and Dre just,
oh man.
It took him 2 days.
Holy shit.
2 days to do the vocals on that song.
Wow.
Oh, that's fantastic.
When did you hear it? As it was going or after the 2 days?
No, I left, man. After
hang out for 2 days,
seeing this dude struggle line after line, I'm like, man, I can't take this shit. I gotta go.
It sounds so easy and natural when you listen.
It's like he is killing my lyrics. He is killing it.
Oh, what a fucking pisser. That's funny, man.
I thought they was just gonna fuck around for a verse and then give up.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
God, it became an iconic sound.
A couple days, he was like, "Man, Tracy, you got to come back up to the studio. You got to hear this." And he played it, and I was like, "Wow, turn this little motherfucker into a rapper."
That's great.
That is a cool story.
Trey's the greatest, man.
You said you didn't work with him as much as you wish you had, right?
Yeah. You know, we worked for about 4 years together, and that was it. And I wanted him to produce my solo album, America's Most Wanted. And but Jerry Heller was like, nah, you know, he had him under his thumb. So I came out here and ended up working with the Bomb Squad, you know, Chuck D, Eric Sadler, Keith Shockley, Hank Shockley, the whole PE production team. And, you know, thank God I did.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, that kind of worked out.
Yeah, definitely did.
Well, we got to get you out of here.
Yeah, well,
the film properly.
Yeah, when is the movie coming out?
Friday.
This Friday.
Yep.
And it's
Friday, right along.
Yeah, with Kevin Hart, of course, and you know, go to icecube.com, and or you can go on Facebook and on Ice Cube on Twitter. Did you have to get that from somebody, or did you actually just grab Ice Cube first?
No, I grabbed it first.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I didn't have to buy it from nobody.
That's a stroke of luck.
Yeah,
no.
So sometimes a fan will grab it for you. Do you respond? Do you do your own Twitter?
Yeah.
Do you respond to people who are dicks, or do you just block them?
Nah, you know, I let them say what they gotta say. You know what I mean? You know, a dick is a dick whether you block it or not. You know what I mean? So I don't care. You know what I mean?
Right. I
got thick skin, man. It's hard. It's very, very hard to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Do you ever wish that they would say that to you kind of in person instead of on Twitter? Like it would just be more pleasant?
Yes, and you slap the shit out of them. Ain't nothing like slapping the shit out of somebody.
They tell me that. I've never done it, but it seems like it'd be a lot of fun.
Sounds freeing.
Very releasing.
Is it better than punching someone, slapping them?
Yeah, it is.
It is, right? It's more humiliating.
Punch, you know, you hurt your knuckles and shit. You might break a knuckle.
But a slap.
If you slap someone in front of people, too, it's worse than punching them in front of people.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't do anything back.
Yeah.
Have you seen somebody's face slapped in front of a group of people and it's just terrible?
All you hear is,
yeah.
damn!
Oh, shit.
Some dude get slapped out.
Wow, really?
Slapped out.
That's embarrassing.
Knockout slap.
That is fucking, wake up with that dumb red hand mark across your face.
Ringing in your ear.
But nobody laughs at you, do they?
We got to get Ice Cube out of here.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming in.
New movie
Right
Ride Along in theaters
Fucking
Friday.
great, man.
Thank you, Ice Cube.
Thanks, y'all. Take care.
Virus. Sirius XM.